like my own DJ.
Look at
But
DJ Joe Hill.
I tried to dibble and dabble. I haven't heard that word in a minute. Dibble and dabble.
Dibble and dabble. Yes.
Chris Grant is checking in right now. Okay. See Breezy. I see you.
What's happening?
I see you with your graffiti background. Okay, I see you, brother. Okay.
I love it.
You gotta support the brand, man. Should I take that off?
Nah, you good right now. I'm hating a little bit. I don't got that type of background,
You're not light-skinned enough, brother. Hold on.
Ali, how you doing, my brother?
There we go.
How you doing, my brother? Ali, what's going on, sir?
What's happening, brother?
I can't complain. Thank you for coming on, my man. Taking the time out to chat with us. And yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate you.
No doubt. How everybody else doing? How y'all doing?
Good.
All right. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right.
Like I said, for those that's tuning in on the Facebook Live, I appreciate y'all. Those for the first time, the Concourse comedy panel is something we do each and every Saturday night. We bring comedians together from around the nation, respected comedians, some who you've seen on television or you've loved. So I'm glad to have Ali in the building, Chris Grant, Janell, and Chanel will join us in a few. But yeah, let's get right into it. I just wanted to do my wellness check and ask y'all, as humans, how y'all feeling right now with everything going on? I'll start with Chris, and then we'll work our way. But yeah, just how you feeling with everything going on in the world? What's going on?
I feel amazing. I feel good. I feel empowered. I feel like this is a good start here. That Jesus Christ, that graffiti is distracting. You mind? Can we go on to someone else? Let me get this off of here.
Hold on. Wait, you know how to take the background off?
Yeah. That's why I go on to somebody else.
Janelle, how you living with everything going on, sis? How's everything?
Everything, I just feel refreshed. I needed that break. Even though I'm an empath, it was the worst break to have. But it was a good break to have. However, I'm nervous. Anxiety is super high with just everything that's going on in the world. But I am just excited for just a change and just new energy and a new atmosphere as well. So, anxiety driven, but excited.
Yeah. I mean, we can all relate to that anxiety, especially with everything going on around us. Ali, how you feeling, brother, with everything going on? What's your take on it, man? Just as a human being, and a comedian, how you feeling with everything going on?
Man, well, I'm super cool as far as my person, but I don't know how the world is taking it. I don't think people are taking it as serious as they should. So that's mostly my only concern is how other people are faring in it, because I don't think they faring well, because their mind is confused on what to believe or not to believe, or what the situation is, what the facts. You listen to a lot of, especially African American people, with all these, in my view, dumbass conspiracy theories. we love to come up with a good conspiracy and ride with it, and don't look at facts of things, which is mostly troubling to me. But me and my family, we cool. But the universal family, I don't know.
Chris.
We here.
How you feeling, brother? Thank you for tapping in. How you feeling with everything going on, man? Before we get into the funny and all.
I thoroughly appreciate everything going on. It's tense, but it's necessary. And I honestly have not been affected negatively. Personally, I haven't been affected negatively, aside from the emotional aspect.
In the background.
That's not me. That's not me. I'm about to jump on stage and do this show, and they got the joint blasting.
Okay.
Why is? Yeah.
You want? All right. Don't be no Teddy Riley shit tonight. All right.
Nah. It's phone calls coming through. But nah, like I feel good about everything that's taking place. I've been able to accomplish a lot. I've also been able to analyze and examine things from a different perspective. And as a result of that, it's put me in a position to be more successful than I was going into this whole year. And so, you know, I'm taking full advantage of all the white guilt, all of the spare time, and just making good use of it.
That clean answer. I see you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel it's important to check in with y'all because I know as comedians, you know, it's like we get that, like we have to speak on it. And, you know, like Dave Chappelle, his special just dropped, and it was good, you know, seeing him, you know, talk about that. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see it, but what's y'all thoughts on that little, you know, set that he dropped?
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was dope, man. We need more insightful discourses because it ain't nothing funny right now.
Yeah.
You know, somebody asked me to do a show with him on Zoom last week. I'm like, I mean, I would like to, but I don't feel funny. Like, there's nothing that I want to laugh about at this current moment. You know what I mean? And it took some time. It took some writing. I've written a couple essays. I've talked to people about it, and now, like, I feel a little better about the progress I made and the mental coming to terms that I've had with a lot of things. But it's good to see someone say what we all feel in this moment, and it doesn't have to be a joke. Like, it's the truth.
Right.
There are some humorous aspects of this truth, but it's not a joke.
Right. What you think, Janelle?
To me, it was just one of the most amazing things I've seen. Like Chris said, nothing is funny, but what he brought to it was humor, but just so much insight. And it's crazy because it's like a modern day history lesson for our future generation and for us. I remember us growing up in school and we got history lessons about people who basically were killed for civil rights, you know, who were those martyrs. So when you see these stories now in media and news and you hear him just put together this oratory basically of what's going on. I mean, it was just crazy, and just his connection, his birth date, you know, and the time that it just, I mean, it just shows that it's impactful. And what I loved his message in it is that, you know, it's not here for me to be funny. It's here for me to let y'all know that the streets are talking. They're going to do, people are marching, and we are doing this for ourselves. So you don't have to have that celebrity presence. You don't have to have a music video or a music montage to inspire you to know that you can make a change at this point. Like, it's happening without a celebrity voice or appearance. So I appreciated that. It was brilliant on so many levels.
Brother Ali, what you think?
Well, you know, I'm always of a different mindset because when you've been saying something, when you've been saying the same thing for over 20 years, and then it take a celebrity to do it, then you just kind of look at it like, okay, you know, it's like how people, it's like I compare it to how all of a sudden niggas was inspired by Nipsey Hussle having a t-shirt company and doing what he doing in the community, when my niggas been doing that for 30, 40 years. So it doesn't, you know,
Yeah.
that's what it took for you. Like, if anybody know my stand-up, Dave Chappelle is not saying anything that I haven't said over the course of the years. He's just Dave Chappelle.
Right.
So it's like watching somebody else larger than you say what you've been saying, and then people find it extraordinarily this, that, and the third. But when I've been saying it, so I just looked at it and it was like, oh, okay.
Copy.
So that's all I had.
That's real. Well, shout out to everybody on the Facebook. What up, Todd Davis? Appreciate you for tuning in. Grant, Jared Waters. You know, in comedy, a lot of us, you know, Ali, know you for your stand-up and your story, which is so inspirational. But I want to know, and I always like to ask comics, what were you like in middle school? I want to know, like, what were you like before you became the comedian, the person? What were you like 6th, 7th grade?
Selling candy in school, you know, playing ball and selling candy, because you know, when you in school, you see a need, like people want to buy now laters
Yeah.
and blow pops and Jolly Ranchers. So to make money, I would go to the store. You know, they had big bags of candy and big bags of thing at the store called Eckerd's. You know, you could go buy this candy, and I would sell candy at school and hustle and pay for things. So I always been business minded because I had a pops that told me, hey, the same energy that you put in for somebody else's business, you can put that energy into for yourself.
Thanks.
So that's basically, you know, I grew up playing chess, and you know, I was a different kid. You know, I always had a hustle, and we was always my mother's a history professor, so we've always known history. We always been on you got to do it yourself. And so that was what I was like all through middle school and high school.
That's what's up. Janelle, what were you like in middle school?
I was the house party kid. Like, I was the kid that threw the house parties. My mom worked nights, so like I was just that goofy kid that, you know, come kick it in my house, come chill, like the around the way girl. My mom, you know, was cool with people coming over and hanging out to a certain extent, you know, so we kept stocks of ramen noodles and cereal, you know, so just that, yes, just that goofy, come kick it, come chill, let's, you know, hang out.
Right. Chris, what you was like in middle?
I was strange, man. I was fat. I wasn't very funny, and I had just like peaked out of my smartness. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know, at that point in your life where you're like the smartest kid and everything, and then you get to a certain grade where like you realize maybe it ain't me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was me in middle school, and that was my finding myself. Middle school was actually when I found that I am a natural entertainer, because in the 7th grade, my teacher signed me up for the Britney Spears camp for performing arts, and it was free at the time. Yeah, y'all can laugh all the hell y'all want to. Laugh all you want to. My black ass went to Massachusetts for 2 weeks for free, and I met
Okay.
Britney Spears and
Okay.
got free shit. So yeah, chuckle.
Not mad.
That was to you. Okay.
And at what was it, 7th grade, I had just turned 13, and my first set was a set called Ghetto versus Proper.
Okay.
I'll never forget it. You're proper, you run out of toothpaste, you buy new toothpaste. When you're ghetto, you cut it down the middle and scoop out the rest, you know, shit like that.
Okay. So we've all had great nights in comedy. We've all had amazing nights. But I want to talk about one night in particular, maybe that you just ain't have it. You know, nothing went well, you bombed. Some people call it a bomb. It wasn't your night. Ali, I mean, I know you got one. I know you got one. Or it just wasn't your night. When you first started out?
So when you first start out, that's not really considered you bombing. So the only time I've ever done bad on stage was the first time I was ever on stage, and that wasn't even my doing. I was at this open mic where it wasn't even open mic, it was Apollo night where people sung and they danced, and this is in 1997. So the host was like, y'all gotta boo somebody, and the next person come on this stage, and what I took from it was I didn't understand the observation skills of stand-up at that time. So I'm at this basically college night where all these college kids are there, and it's Apollo night, so they could boo, and I have on a suit, and they wasn't booing me, they was booing the fact that I had on a suit. And so you learn observation skills. So I waited 2 weeks, and I came back because I didn't even say anything. Like I said, "Hey, what's up, y'all?" and they start booing. So they didn't hear any presentation. They didn't hear anything I had to say. So I came back 2 weeks later, and I just put my name on the list. I didn't say what I was doing, and I had on just some sneakers, jeans, t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's college night. And I went up that night, and then I started coming back on a regular basis. And a month and a half later, I was the co-host of that night with the actual host.
Right.
So it's just learning from the experiences. So bad nights on stage, I don't really have those. Like, I've been doing it too long to have that. It's because the crowd has shifted on what I'm feeling like doing. I don't let crowds determine what's finna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they want a certain thing, I ride the wave, but I sit down. So they gotta come to my level regardless. That's just how it works. It's 22 years, man.
Of course, respect. Right.
It's like, yeah, I done been in the worst positions and been right and been in my mind like, I'm gonna make them come to me.
Right.
And when you go out and sit down and people being rowdy, I was doing a college one time, and I was on the, how they put you on I'm on the other side of the wall, and
Yeah.
I hear the people in the line talking about, this nigga better be funny. I'm gonna get this nigga up. I can hear them, and I walked out and I slid my chair up to the edge of the stage, and I just sat there, and I watched the room come from being crazy to all the way down. And then I started talking. I was supposed to do like a 45-minute set. I was there for maybe like 2.5 hours with them. Because it became a lot. We went through a lot of things at Prairie View. It was at Prairie View A&M. I remember that.
Right. Janell, what's up, baby? I'm sorry. I know you tapped in. Ali was talking. How you feeling, baby? How's everything?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see Ali. I'm sorry I was late. I'm happy we're talking about the hard stuff too, because comedy has a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So talk to us about maybe a night that you didn't have it or you felt you bombed.
Oh man, so I started comedy in Philly, and I just think Philly crowds can be real tough, especially when you're first starting out. They just will not give it up. And I used to have this opener. This is like my first couple times on stage. I had an opener where I said, "Give it up for me. I just moved out of my grandma's basement." And then people would like clap. And then I would be like, "Yeah, now I'm on my aunt's couch." And that was my opener for like my first couple weeks of comedy. That was my opening joke. And I was so nervous on South Street one day in Philly. Real black crowd. I was so nervous that I fucked up the joke. I was like, "Yeah, give it up for me. I'm in my grandma's basement. Now I'm on my grandma's couch." And this old black dude in the front row was like, "Hey, yo, you fucked that up." And it was hilarious. It was like the funniest part of the show. And I had this moment where I was like, do I try to leave stage and come back? Like, how do I backtrack from this big moment? But luckily, the guy was actually kind of friendly with me, and we got to like riff for a little bit. But yeah, I let my nerves get the better of me, and I never let that happen again.
It's all good. It's all good. What about you, Janell?
I don't know. I always have a weird transition here at home. Or no, I think it's comedy festivals. Like, doing bigger caliber shows at home and then going to comedy festivals where you're in a room full of comedians. I feel like I always have that I bombed moment because comedians are very like, okay.
Right.
Really, I could laugh, but I'm saving it. I'm on a diet, So I feel like at comedy festivals, I always have a struggle, which then it almost looks like, well, what you doing? When are you actually funny? So, yeah, those are my struggles. That's it. I think those are the bad times for me. Every comedy festival I feel like I've done, I'm like, ooh, it's kind of, well, not every comedy festival, but some.
Yeah. Well, I got a good question. What's the weirdest job you've ever had? And I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go to you, Ali, after me. Weirdest job y'all ever had? It could be a side hustle, anything. for those that, you know, right now I work in education by day. So I work with the kids. I've been doing that for 18 years. It's not a weird job, but the weirdest job for me, when I was 18, I used to work at a kiosk in the mall, upstate New York in the Palisades Mall. For those that know and tuning in, that's the four floors, huge as hell. They got the Levity Live Comedy Club there. I used to work at the cell phone booth, and I was the dude. You be walking, minding your business with your family, with your lady, your dude, or whatever, and I would yell out shit like, "Hey, brother, my sister, you got a cell phone? Okay, well, fuck you too then. Okay." Like, I was that dude in the mall, just annoying as hell. So that was a weird job for me. I was selling cell phones at 18. But Ali, what's the weirdest job you've ever had?
You worked in the mall in Nyack?
Yep, yes, sir.
I've been in that mall.
I used to live up there, Rockland County, so I was annoying as hell. Even if I seen you, brother, you could walk by me 2 times. Hey, brother, you ain't get that upgrade yet. You know what I'm saying? That was me.
Yeah, that's a nice club, just a weird place to be.
Yeah.
It is.
In the mall, what is that? A Target next to it?
It's a Target, it's a Barnes and Noble, and it's a movie theater right there, and an Outback, all right in the little area.
All right there, and they try to bring you in through the front of the mall most of the time. You walk in through the front, even though it's a side door. They still bring you in through the mall, and you walking past the Cheesecake Factory.
Yes.
Knowing that the Cheesecake Factory food is way better than the comedy club.
Yes,
you like, I'm gonna run over here and place the order real quick.
Shit.
But I ain't going on for like 30 minutes. So
right.
I worked in the kiosk at Sunglass Hut, but probably the weirdest job.
Hold on. Don't speed past that. Did you say the sunglass?
I know.
Hold on. You was selling like frames, or you was giving eye exams? You like the kiosk?
The Sunglass Hut. They sell all type of glasses, Revos, Ray-Bans.
Okay.
Maui Jim.
Okay.
All them high price ass glasses that black people. But I worked there, but I used to be for a short time. My dad had my little brother by this other woman, and I used to be a shampoo tech at her hair salon. So I would have to do reconstructors, base people had for getting perms. After you get a perm, you gotta get your hair reconstructed. So I would put reconstructor. I would mix up the chemicals for the dye. Because back then they was using this. They probably still do it. Use this bleach when you get your hair dyed, like when you really getting it not just putting a. Yeah. That's when you putting a permanent color on versus a semi permanent or
right.
Yeah, So I worked there, but that was a good job though, because the ladies, the bowl was a little lower than the bowl was low, so it's like right at penis level. So I'm shampooing hair in the bowl, and I always turned their head towards
That was smart. Was it a good paying job though?
Yeah, man. Shampoo tech, get that.
Tech.
And it's a lot of perks to it. Any salon that has a shampoo tech is more efficient than any other salon because while you sitting there waiting, nobody's doing. If you in a regular salon, nobody's doing nothing to your hair. You just sitting there waiting on the next person. But a shampoo tech, it's my job to get you prepped for when you get in. So if you get in a perm, your hair is already based, and ready to go. Boom, you get in, she put the perm on. After she's done with you, she send you back to me. I shampoo you up, I condition you, I put the reconstruct. Whoa.
You good?
Nah, what just happened? Oh, there you go.
All right.
Okay. I put the man, what is the deal? You hold on, brother. How you get out of there real quick?
You still good? I can see you. You
You
moving?
can see me, but
Yeah.
like everything else on my there we go. So she could get more clients done because I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
about time you in the chair, you getting washed, and I'm putting the reconstruct on your hair. Then I'm putting the bag on you, putting you under the dryer for 30 minutes. She's still been working on the next person. You get out, I shampoo you again, and I send you up front. I comb you out, and I send you up front. And,
The comb out. The comb out. Okay.
yeah, you got to, after you get shampoo, you got to get your hair combed out. And it depends on if you wearing a natural part or you wearing a part that's artificial. Natural part is the natural way that your hair is parted. You know what I'm saying? Your head, I part you that way. Otherwise, is you trying to force this shit. So I gotta take a rat tail comb and part your hair the other way.
Okay. Yo, you a fool. You a fool. Janell, weirdest job?
Oh man, I think my weirdest job was my last job before I became a full-time comedian, and that's when I worked for OkCupid. So I was basically a support person for the OkCupid dating app. So if you was on the app and you had questions or you were feeling insecure about how good you were doing on the app, you would write me an email and I would read it, and then I would write you back, and I would be very real with you about your pictures, about the misspellings of the words on your profile. I had a lot of guys that would message us and be like, I think my account is broken. Nobody's responding to my messages. And I'd be like, no, it's working. Nah, it's working. It's not broken.
Yeah.
That was really weird because you realize that some people just don't have healthy adult relationships in their life. So they don't know how to attack dating. Like they don't know when it's okay to give a guy their phone number or when it's okay to meet up with a guy. So they just email OkCupid and say, hey, I like this guy. He asked me for my phone number. Should I? And we're like, where is your mom? Like, we are not supposed to be
right
you on this shit. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about love. I learned a lot about relationships and what people will believe and what they'll put themselves out there for. But I was really happy when I could quit that job because
I can imagine.
It was stressful, man. It was stressful. People would come back like, oh, this girl dipped on me. She said we were supposed to meet tonight, and now I can't find her profile. Help me. I'm at this restaurant right now. I'd be like, go home, nigga. She's not coming. Right. You got to just get out of there, So, yeah, that's probably the craziest job, I would say.
Janell, weirdest job?
Oh, my gosh. This fundraising job. I don't remember the name of the organization, but we had to walk around downtown Houston with iPads asking people to donate money or to pledge money on a monthly basis right there with their credit cards in downtown Houston amongst like people who are literally sleeping on the street. And I was like, I think I only lasted like maybe 2 days, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I'm sorry. And the more money I raise, like, you mean to tell me like I rank up and I'm supposed to feel better about my job in society? No, I'm not doing this. Absolutely not.
Miss Banks, I would prefer that you don't try to do us like that. Like we just got all homeless people downtown in Houston.
No, but it wasn't. No, I am from
amongst these homeless people. I'm walking around. It's like I'm walking around with the iPad, and it's.
I just know, but it was insulting because we were raising money for people in other countries, and I'm like, we should be giving money.
Excuse me, little dirty ass man on the floor. Can you move so I can talk to this person and ask them to donate to someone other than you?
That's why I didn't want to stick around. I was like, no, this is horrible. Huh?
Are you from Houston?
Not originally, but I have roots there and I've lived there.
Where you lived at?
A-Leaf, baby.
You said that like I didn't graduate from Hastings.
Well, then you might know my people.
I am the lead.
People might,
I'm the SWAT all day long. I am the lead.
okay, then. Hey,
The
family.
SWAT all day long.
That's what's up. So Ali, I'm sure you get this question all the time. I'm a comedian myself. I'm a producer myself. What made you get into comedy? Like, what was that moment you said it clicked for you? Like, this is what I want to do. This is what it's gonna be.
I don't get that question all the time.
Really?
Nah, because if I did, I would refuse to answer it because it was.
So that's a good question then. What made it click?
No, it's a redundant question. Like people ask you that when they don't have. Okay, I'm not that you didn't do this, but ask me that they've never done research on me. So it's a question. It's a fill-in question when they don't have nothing else actually to ask me about anything else. Like the people who've done research on me, I was like, so you got into comedy after doing time in prison. Why was that so important to you? You know, it's different.
Right.
I stopped answering that question maybe 8 years ago because it's like people should know by now. Not saying that was a good question from you because you don't know. You know, so so I give you an answer better than what I would give any of the white people who would normally ask me the question, and I would decline, or I would be very condescending in my answer. So I don't think that it's a decision that you make. Mm-hmm. I think that it's something that it's your nature. It's something that's innate in you that you gravitate towards. It's like my boy builds furniture. It's something that he just gravitated towards. It wasn't a day that he woke up and say, you know something, I think niggas need love seats. You know what I'm saying? And with me, it's such a natural part of me that it's no decision date. It's no ending date. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm not a stand-up in transition to some other shit. Not an actor, not a writer, producer, not a sitcom. That's not my stand-up is really based upon, or what I do is really based upon what is a necessity. Mm-hmm. Like I know a lot of people missing the stage or they missing doing comedy, but it's not like me, you know, and there's other people that's like me as well, that this is like an addiction that you have to do because it's who you actually are. You know, it's some people playing comic or acting as if they're a comic or trying to, it's like what I say that black women do in the teaching world. Niggas become teachers until what they actually want to do takes off. It's not, they don't, but it's some people who are educators and that's who they are. Like, that's what they talk about. That's what they see. That's what they envision. That's what they embody. Like with me with stand up, it's, man, I don't know if people understand how this is like my fucking fingerprints. It's like my skin. It's like, it's not even a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a choice. Like, you know, you asked me when I chose to be. This is not even a choice to me. This is what I actually am. And being this, like I've said this for at least a decade. And I tell people this all the time. If you hear somebody who said they got it from somebody who said it, got it from me, or they heard me say it. Comedians do not retire. We die. And hopefully we can do it on stage. You know what I'm saying? We die. Ain't no stopping date. Ain't no I'm gonna get here and I'm gonna stop doing stand up. I would have, in order not to do stand, I would give damn how many movies if I was in a sitcom or whatever I was doing. If I don't care nothing about none of that, I have to die with, hey man, you know he's supposed to be in Virginia and then he died. It's like Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory died with dates on the books. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing with me when it comes to stand up. Like it's a whole thing. And I get mad about shit. Like, to be a great stand up, you shouldn't have to be judged by some fucking athlete or some fucking rapper or some shit that you don't do. Oh, you're a great comic if you do a movie, or you're a great comic if you do a sitcom. That has nothing to do with stand up. And I'm insulted. I'd be insulted when somebody say, "Oh, you funny, you should be a comic." And I'd be like, "Motherfucker, I know a butcher that's good with a knife. I don't tell that nigga he should be a surgeon." You know what I'm saying? It's like that shit doesn't equate to what we do and what you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like me talking about comedy, it's like it's some whole other shit. Like it's like water to me, man. It's like it's like the chant, I can't breathe. If I can't breathe, I can't get on that stage. It's like, man,
that's real.
It's I tear up about this shit when I'm talking about it, when I'm thinking about it, when I feel when people abusing and raping it, you know, and misrepresenting it. That shit does something to me, because this is like, it's like, this is a craft. This is a craft, and it's an artistry to this, man, that people just fucking undermine like it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Picasso, it's like telling Picasso, "Oh, you coloring." Nigga, no, I'm not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like telling Prince and Michael Jackson, when they was doing their artistry, that they were just doing some regular shit. No, nigga, I'm not. What I do and and the time that I invest in this ain't no sketch shit that you do 1,000 takes on the internet to do. No disrespect to that, but the way that this shit is constructed and the way that you become this is different.
Right.
Man, yeah, man, go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. The reason why, and this is just me being 100. The reason why I say it was a good question is because, like, we wouldn't know how you feel about it. I'm gonna just be honest. I wouldn't know that because I've watched you for many years. I've watched you do stand up. I can appreciate your stand up in general. So like, the way you just articulate that, I wouldn't know that, and I appreciate that. So that to me is organic as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Letting us know and sharing that with me and the rest of us on here, how you feel about it. So it's no knock. I mean, listen, I mean, like I said, that's one of the things that makes you you. You know what I'm saying?
Why I wasn't knocking you. That's why I wasn't knocking your question. No. I was saying, if you was a Caucasian answering me that question, you would get the shade. I'm talking about I'll shade treat the shit out your ass.
I mean, I was ready for the shade, like, oh.
You were like, oh, the shade of it all.
Janell, what about you, sis?
Oh man,
it's hard. Oh, Janell or Janell.
You said what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My fault, Janell. I know it sounded like Janell, Chanel.
It's hard to follow up Ali's sermon like that because he just like woke up the spirits. But yeah, I just remember watching a lot of stand up when I was really young. Probably about 7 is when I really feel like I started to identify the characteristics in a comedian. I was like, oh, comedians are confident and they're good storytellers. They're good public speakers. You know, they're very empathetic. They're able to see perspective on a lot of different things. And I just remember kind of making a list in my head and being like, I'm just one of those people. I just am that. And as I got older, I became more brave about saying it out loud because I definitely felt like for a long time I couldn't really tell anybody. But then in my adulthood, especially after college, I just felt like if I didn't do comedy, whatever else I did at it in my life, I would be good at it. I would make good money, but it would be dishonest. And at like 24, I just felt like I had a good understanding about what life is about. And I knew that I didn't want to wake up at 40 or 50 and say, damn, I wish I had tried comedy. I wish I had gone to an open mic, you know, now that the kids is grown or whatever. So I just remember making a firm decision that I wanted to be honest with myself and honest about how I wanted to live my life. And the idea, I became super, super infatuated with the idea of making money being silly. Just the idea of making money off of being silly it just really invigorated me. And it made me more motivated than anything else I had ever done.
What about you, Janell?
My story is so weird. I have just always grown up as that goofy kid. The only way I could communicate is through like humorous conversation. I found a love for humorous interpretation and debate and forensics in high school, and was the only Black kid and Black woman doing it, you know, where I grew up. And I loved it. Transitioning to an adult, you just can't be out here doing George C. Wolfe on the streets.
Right.
So I had to find an outlet. I actually had a good friend that I grew up with who was a comedian, and he like transitioned into really doing comedy, like, and was on the road doing comedy with Mike Epps and just a lot of big names, and he died. And I honestly feel like what pushes me through now is his spirit and just finishing his story and his legacy. I love doing it, but my anxiety for people, honey, I don't like peopling with the people. So, but I just feel like it's kind of like just something that pushes me, this just the divine spirit. Like without it, I don't know what I would do. And honestly, it's just how I communicate and cope with everything that has ever happened to me, or just anything. You know, I'm a very shy, introverted person, but if I can be funny or interject humor into any situation, i.e. emergency room trips, whatever, I'm here for it. It just, so I think just being a comedian is a natural calling.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I found it, you know.
Well, I appreciate y'all. I only got like a few more questions if I don't want to take too much more of your time. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook Live tuning in from everywhere, Bronx, New York, out of town, Cali, everybody tapping in. Outside of that, comedy, what is some, when you have time, what is some of the stuff we binging on? Maybe a show that y'all have in mind. Maybe for me, it's Hoarders. I don't know why. I'm addicted to watching how white people live. Crazy. I can't stop watching shit like that. It's it's hella content, I tell you that. But that Hoarder shit, let me tell you, that's some different type of living right there. White folks is crazy. I don't know about y'all. That's my little guilt right there. I'll sit there and I'll watch Hoarders. But Ali, I'm interested to know what you binging on when you get a chance to watch. What's something you like to watch and kick it and watch too?
Oh man, shit. Last thing I binged, which I found to be a problem, because I'm not one of the people who, I don't stop until it's over. Like I run the whole gamut on this shit. You can't tell me. I got to know. All of it's out now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm probably the only person that ever watched all 5 episodes of all 5 seasons, every episode of Greenleaf in like a week and a half. Watched every last one of them Jones. I watched all of Ozark, and then when the new season came out, I watched all the episodes in a day. And then I was pissed at myself. Then what's this thing that came on, like the All American? Some dude told me,
football story joint. Yeah,
it dude like, man, watch the All American. I watched everything, and the only reason it took me 2 weeks because I had some other stuff to do in the course of it. I couldn't get to it. Oh, but once I did get to it, I was so mad. Like this is why it happens. Like, either I gotta know or I find an enemy in the shit, and I gotta hate on them the whole goddamn time. or I just be pissed. Or I just be like Greenleaf. I thought the little sister was a dumb bitch. I was like, this dumb bitch, you know what I'm saying, I always want to do. You ain't, your Carl ain't preaching the whole scene. You know what I'm saying? So
you invested by now at this point.
I'm like, oh, this whole betraying the family. Look at this dirty bitch. Like I'm on that the whole time. Then All American. I'm like, yo, this nigga is very fucking empowered. Think somebody owe him an explanation for every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I was like, I'm hot at this nigga. I'm like, yo. So then Ozark, I'm like, yo, somebody got to kill. And first of all, this wife, you know what I'm saying, she disrespectful. You know what I'm saying, my man's trying to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think I did the same thing with Breaking Bad. You know what I'm saying, I think anything that I put my clutches in, I got to see the whole shit. I can't wait. Ain't no waiting. I download it to my phone and watch it and be like this on the plane and be checking it in and like be like, hold up, okay, get back to what you doing. Like I got to see, man. So right now I don't have nothing to watch. I don't have nothing to watch. See, that's the problem. I need to like I remember This Is Us came out. I binge watched This Is Us and then it went off. And then when the season came back, I wasn't even interested in this shit no more. I don't watch it no more. Because I made a choice. They let me know that the father died too fast. So it's nothing for me to watch now. You know what I'm saying? I already know what I want. At this point. Yeah. The father, y'all didn't reveal the father died. I was like, this that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. So I don't have anything to watch. And when people suggest stuff to me, I watch Sons of Anarchy, all the episodes in 2 weeks.
See, that's a lot of episodes, though.
See, I knocks it down, fam.
That's a lot to knock out. That's like 7 seasons in 2 weeks.
No, I'm talking about this was years ago when it was out. I knocked that down. I knocked that in with man. You don't understand. I got this thing. It's like not finishing a set.
Right.
It's like if I was in the middle of a set and something happened, Ali, you got to stop. And I'm like, but I got like 30 more minutes.
Yeah, I just get it going.
Somebody gonna get it. Janell, come in this room. Let me tell you what I was gonna tell the people.
Right?
Somebody's gonna get this shit. Janell, we worked together in Philly, right?
Yeah. I opened for you at Pine one weekend. It was so dope. Really a good time. I'm really happy about it.
You in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm in New York, but I've been quarantined up in the mountains for like 3 months.
In the mountains, like in the wilderness?
And yeah, in the Poconos in Pennsylvania.
Oh, so you in the Poconos? Okay.
Yeah.
You say the mountains, like that's upstate. That's upstate New York. You say the mountains. Oh, I've been in the mountains. Like I'm thinking like, oh, so you on some Alaskan frontier type shit. I watched that too. I might see you on episode. Janelle, you where?
I'm in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, you in Kansas City, Missouri. I came up that way to that club.
Yes, to the Improv.
Me, Willie Lynch Jr. and Marcus D. Wiley was there.
Yeah. I didn't want to act like a groupie, but you know, I saw you. But I was a groupie.
Did you come speak? You ain't?
No, well, I tried. Like a lot of the times, I'm in and out. That weekend, I was working and on the road, so I had to slip in and slip out. But I tried to meet. But you know, I don't want to take away from like everybody else's meet and greet. I'd be like, I work here, move. You know. But,
my shit. This is my shit. Move.
Yeah, I was in the green room last week. But nah, I would never. You know, I just stay low key. I just like seeing your stage work, you know.
Comics are always welcome, and for West Indian boys, the thicker the better. All thick women are always.
Well, now I know I'm gonna knock somebody out the way because they love you here.
I give a strong invitation to Full Figure Sisters. I'm like, yo, what show need to speak right there? Come on over and speak. Come on.
To speak.
Put your body on my body. Give me a hug. You know, I just be wanting a hug.
But yeah, shout out to everybody on the Facebook Live. We still here. I got a good one. And I know Ali, you know, you said earlier if you did your research, but I'm always big on stuff we don't know, little things. What's something you love to do, my brother, that nobody that knows you do?
That nobody that
Basically, give me something that you love to do that nobody really knows outside of obviously your family and friends, but myself, Janell, you know, maybe it's a hobby or something.
Oh, if I could turn this camera around, I have a pretty decent sized garden.
Okay.
Like, I have a pretty decent sized garden. But I think a lot of people know that I garden, and I'm like purple hull peas and black eyed peas and cucumbers, different types of cucumbers, squash, callaloo, okra, tomatoes, eggplant, peppers.
Natural, organic.
Peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got a lot of lettuce, different types of lettuce. It's a bunch of. I'm looking at it now out my window. It's a bunch of stuff out there.
Could I bring a shopping cart? I could come through with a shopping cart and buy. You sound like you running the produce over there. You sound like you're running the.
Hey man, you gotta grow. You gotta be able to grow your food and be self-sufficient, independent. Each one teaches what God intended. You know. So you know, I'm in a fight right now with like I done been through a lot. You know, everybody know that I was in prison for drug trafficking, and I done been in a couple of violent situations. But the most tedious thing I've ever been through right now is a period in my life. I'm in a war right now. Like I've been in war with like Colombians. I've been in war with all type of niggas and shit. But this war with these cutworms is different. It's a different cutworms and snails. These niggas. This is the slowest war in the world because they don't even move fast. But these niggas will decimate a garden as soon as you turn your head. Like I just had a bucket full of lettuce, man, last week. I came out there, every drop of my lettuce was gone. And I dug up 2 cutworms. Them niggas was so fat, them niggas was sitting with all their hands like this. Like, them niggas like, yo, you called me, fam. I did it. I ain't got no luck. And I smashed them. I hung one of them. I literally took a piece of fishing wire and put one and hung him and left him on the thing for the other cutworms to see. Like, yo, this is what we doing around here.
You got the real struggle right now. I see, but I the green thumb. I definitely kind of knew that because I know you into organic and living, like you said, living natural and harvesting your own stuff. Janell, what about you? One thing that you love to do that people wouldn't know about you. Anything.
Oh man, I think other than comedy, I'm really, really passionate about music. I say music is my number 2. And I've been playing the violin for about 20 years now.
Big up to the violin. My daughter played the violin.
I love the violin, and I compare playing the violin as like the only other thing in my life that I feel like challenged my brain the way that comedy does. Because when you're playing the violin, you gotta do the bow, you gotta do the notes, you gotta follow the conductor, you gotta read the music, and it's like the same way when you're on stage and you're paying attention to the crowd and like the waiter and stuff like that, and thinking about your set list. It's the same way, bisecting your mind.
No, let me tell you, Janell, I just want to say that even though my daughter played the violin, I spent a lot of money on them goddamn violins, and Tommy Davidson just destroyed the violin for me on that damn. Every time I think about the violin, I don't even know what it's coming to my head. Now grab your partner.
Janell, one thing folks don't know that you love to do that we wouldn't know about you.
I love to paint. And also, I'm like in my head, I'm Maxine Shaw. I have a passion for the law. Yes.
What up, Katrina?
I have a passion for the law. Like, when I'm not on stage, I work at a law firm as a, business analyst assistant. And I just love being able to experience law and practice law in so many areas. My dream is to blow up in comedy and pay for law school in real life, and practice law as well as tell these jokes. But I just have a extreme love and passion for criminal justice reform, prison reform. And so I don't think a lot of people know that. They think I just listen to a lot of true crime stuff and I'm weird. And I'm like, nah, man, like it's deeper than that, so.
That's what's up. Y'all probably wouldn't know this, but I could cook my ass off.
Okay.
Twisted. Now there's a difference between, and fellas, pay attention. There's a difference between cooking and heating shit up. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to cook shit. So I can cook my ass off, but yeah, it's not advertised.
Joe.
I knew you was gonna say something. Now hold up. I knew you was gonna say something because I seen you live. I see you with your cooking shows. I see you get down. I see you. All right, so I'm not on your level. Because the way you hook the camera up and all that, you got a whole fucking production over there. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't even gonna say that, Joe.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna make a comment, but that's true. But I was gonna make a comment. For Miss Banks. This with an old, because I'm an older brother.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sitting. You see how I'm sitting?
You see?
I'm like, if you would have came and spoke, you could have been already in law school. Old man gotta take every shit. And
gotta jump. Old goose.
Something about that says you need a briefcase. You know what I'm saying? You know what I respect about law school is law school weeds out the weak very early. Mm-hmm. Like in the first year of law school, they give your ass so much reading. Just like if you don't want to read, this ain't for you.
This ain't for you.
Absolutely.
Because what you about to do is read. And
the reading leads to reading, okay? If you find something, you got to find a statute. Behind the statute, you got to find the reason of the law. Absolutely. You're just reading.
You reading to read what else you need to read.
Hella reading.
In every book, first of all, you got to get a dolly to even get the books that you need to read. Because when you see let me tell you something. Play with a woman that's in law school if you want to. Bring up some relationship bullshit or try to start some bullshit with her. Your ass is so broken up with, like, nigga, get with me whenever you fucking grow up, nigga. I got to read. You
gotta read. You gotta read to learn how you gotta read what you gotta read.
You gotta read to learn how to read the shit that you're supposed to be reading. Man, I love it, man. They weed out the week up front. Like, when you see somebody drop out their first year, you be like, you know something? I know why you dropped out. You ain't diligent. They weeded your ass out.
Yeah.
By your second year, you Cadillacing. You just waiting
right?
You waiting to get to the bar. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, hey, man, test me now. Don't try to make me forget the shit that I done already read.
It's right here. It's right here.
So this is the final question right here, and there's no judgment because we like to know what y'all thinking. Who is your top 5 in comedy all time? Right now, somebody that you feel is funny to you. It's no judgment. I'm gonna go to Janell first. Your top 5. No judgment, no order. Just who you? What's your top 5?
Dave Chappelle, Wanda Sykes, Eddie Griffin. I'm gonna throw Steve Martin in there because he has a book I really like, and I'm gonna say Whoopi.
Okay.
We did.
I go last.
All right, Janell.
I have to throw
wrong answer to this. Go ahead.
Whoopi is just my representation, you know, to me. Lunel, Dave Chappelle, D.L. Hughley, and I'm going to also have to say Rodney Perry.
My brother Rodney. Ali.
Dick Gregory, Carol Burnett, Rodney Dangerfield. It's a strong toss up between Don Rickles and Chappelle. So I just put them as 1 and 2 in that round. And last is it's so hard to just put just one of them in the slot, but because he's my mentor, DL.
I got to open for DL when he was in New York in November. My guy Clint Coley, and Bo from Virginia. They were doing
Both bases.
Yes, sir.
I love them.
And I got to do about 8 minutes, and it was a blast. It was fun, and DL was a cool brother. And yeah, so that's it. That's all the time we got today. First of all, I want to thank y'all, you know, for real, just for taking the time out and sitting. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world. I mean, actually, you couldn't because it's the COVID, but you get the point. You get where I was going with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all took some time out. Appreciate it. Let the people know how can they support you, how can they follow you, what you got coming up. I'm gonna go with Janell, and I'm gonna go to Chanel, and then Ali.
Right now, I'm just in my region. So if you are in Kansas City next week, I'm opening up for J. Lee Thomas and Cool Bubba Ice. We taking it back for the Grand Open. Yes. Local Legends Comedy Club. It's a Black-owned comedy club opening up in Raytown in Kansas City, Missouri. So please come check it out. We have 3 nights of shows, 2 shows per night. Also, you can catch me at the Comedy Club of KC in South Kansas City, and hopefully when the Improv is opening up next week, so I'm hoping I can get some spots on the calendar. If not, Miss Just Laugh on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, MISSJUSLAUGH.
Now, Miss Janell, Ali, talk to us.
Yo, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Chanel__Ali. That's 2 underscores. Chanel like the perfume, Ali like Muhammad. And my debut album, Chanel No. 1, came out yesterday. You can get it everywhere that albums are. Click a link, buy it, stream it, have fun.
The artwork is beautiful. I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mr. Siddiq.
Yo, well, next week you can catch me at in San Antonio at the San Antonio Improv. The week after that, I am at Helium in Indianapolis, Indiana, and new album on the way, The Missing Piece. You can catch me on my Instagram page, man. That's about it. You can definitely go get one of the albums that's already out. There's 6 of them joints. Yeah, that's about it.
Appreciate you. And this is my favorite part before we sign out. Just Janell, you know, coming to New York and working and doing my shows and my just contributing to comedy, what you do out in Kansas City. I appreciate you for coming through on this panel. Chanel, you know, we go back like car seats and felines. You know what I'm saying? You've always contributed doing shows with me and producing stuff. So I appreciate you and representing for Philly. You know what I'm saying? Always, you know. And Mr. Ali, you know, last, of course, you know what's the dopest thing sometimes, especially with the COVID, you know, I can really appreciate as a human being you coming on and taking the time out just to speak to us and and be a part of the culture tonight. For me, you know, I've watched you. One of your dopest specials to me was when you went to the prison and did that. You know, it's bigger than bars, and you gave back. I'm big on giving back, and everything you've been through is dope to see you winning, and everybody can relate to a winner going through some shit and coming out of that. So for real, tonight was dope for me having you on and just getting to talk to you as a comedian, as a person. So I appreciate you, brother, for coming on. I mean that.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you for even considering me, you know, for coming on. I had a great time with Miss Banks and Miss Ali. Not my wife, but you know, Ali.
And shout out to Ty Davis. You know, she's also, you know, came through, and you know, I support her. And
Dirty lips.
I look, she watching, and what's funny, Ali, you got one of the livest comedy club shits, you know, and that was inspiring for all of us doing the virtual shows. When you had D-Lay on there, man, y'all was crazy. That shit had me in tears. So like, keep coming back and giving us that comedy. You know, once everything comes back up, we gonna support you either way, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Sure, appreciate it, brother.
No, so shout out to the Concourse Art Foundation. That's right, we in the Bronx with it. What you gonna say, Ali? Go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't saying nothing. That your thing is stopped on me, and I don't know if it was mine. But as soon as somebody thing stopped, I start doing either the RZA or Teddy Riley, because people forget that the RZA was the first Teddy Riley situation. So it was like, I plug this in. Shall I take this out? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Bong bong. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna plug this back in. Bong bong.
We was good tonight. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook Live. Follow all the comedians. This is a back-to-back night. We had Ali Siddiq dropping in, taking time out. Tomorrow night, we got my guy Talent, one of the kings of New York. So make sure y'all tune in. Shout out to the Concourse Art Foundation. Be safe, be well, and most importantly, wash your hands. Y'all be well. Have a good night, y'all. Be safe.
Bye.
All right, peace.
Peace.